This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Then it's really reducing our overall greenhouse gas emissions and other air quality pollutants overall.
The change won't happen for more than a decade, but Oregon is moving to ban the sale of new gas-powered cars. Coming up, reaction to that news and what it'll take to make it happen.
And Vancouver unveiling the first set of blueprints for the city's new waterfront project. Coming up, we'll see their reaction.
We'll see you in Seaside.
And we are also live up on Mount Hood this morning where, yes, another wave of runners just took off a second ago. How about that, gang? In fact, usually they take off at 5 a.m. Runners have been leaving from Timberline Lodge since 2:30 this morning. Hood to Coast 2022 is underway. Hey, Eric, look at this great group of people behind you this morning. Are you guys excited about Hood to Coast? My goodness. My goodness. Tell me if you're really excited already. Nina, Brenda, and Rod, we will have much more from here at Timberline Lodge coming up in just a few minutes here on Sunrise.
I love it.
Wait to see it. I love that energy.
What a way to start a Friday show, right? You got the blankets all around you. Because what temperature is it up there right now?
By Timberline standards, it's a beautiful morning. I think it's about 55 degrees up there right now.
Yeah, but they're used to being down here where it's
93 yesterday.
Yeah, but you know, it's not that unusual for Hillsborough to be 55 degrees. I'm calling out the people with the blankets.
All right.
I'm calling them out. All right. It's easy for me to say I'm in the studio, and it's almost warm in here. All right, we're at 64 in town. We're 70 degrees at noon. We're only 81 for a high, so the big headline today is to cool off. We will be looking at increasing cloud cover through the morning hours and then a partly cloudy afternoon. We'll have your weekend forecast, more on the Hood to Coast relay weather forecast coming up as well.
Rod, thank you. The affidavit used to secure the search warrant for former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate is set to be unsealed. A judge ordered the Department of Justice to release its redacted version by noon today. The affidavit lays out why agents searched Trump's home in Florida, removing hundreds of classified White House documents. Meanwhile, today, Trump's legal team will have to clarify why it wants the judge to appoint a third party to review evidence in this case.
Also locally, a ban on selling brand new gas-powered cars. California passing that legislation yesterday. Now Oregon and Washington saying they'll get on board.
So lawmakers are still working out all the details, but expect it to be a done deal by 2035. Alma McCarty has the story.
The sun is setting for new gasoline-powered vehicles on the West Coast.
Madam Chair, the motion passes.
The change, first approved and celebrated by California's Air Resources Board on Thursday. The state will require all new cars, trucks, and SUVs to be 100% zero emission by 2035.
States can either set their own limits that match the federal rules, or they can match California's rules.
Washington and Oregon plan to follow that path, taking up aggressive emissions targets over the next decade to clean the air and slash climate pollution. State leaders say we've already hit a milestone of 50,000 electric vehicles. With these new rules, you'll likely see even more on Oregon roads and at charging stations.
Basically, right when they released the Mach-E, that was it's just a really fun car, so it was like I had an opportunity to order one, so I jumped on it.
Husband likes cars first and foremost, so that way, so he wanted to try the electric car.
Because I travel so far back and forth from work, I live in St. Helens, we purchased the vehicle to save money on gas.
But even these early adopters have their doubts.
Definitely gonna have to expand that infrastructure to make stations available.
Still, the mile anxiety, you get that when you drive sometimes.
There's a lot of things that go through my mind on like how this is going to be possible.
Rachel Sakata is Senior Air Quality Planner at the Oregon Department of Environmental Quality.
I think people hear 100% and they go, oh my gosh, it just seems so scary. But California looked at the information, they realized, it can be done.
Within the next couple of months, Oregon DEQ will welcome public comment before proposing regulations that will scale up emission requirements, leading to a ban on new gas car sales by 2035.
And not, have all these electric vehicles without having the necessary infrastructure to charge them.
And gas cars won't be obsolete. The sale of used ones will still be allowed.
Making this transition to battery electric vehicles that have zero emissions, then it's really reducing our overall greenhouse gas emissions and other air quality pollutants overall.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
A few morning headlines for you today. A local business more than a century old has reportedly decided to shut down. The Oregonian and Portland Business Journal report Columbia Steel Casting told state regulators it plans to shut down its North Portland factory. That means 225 workers will be laid off in October. The company has reportedly been looking for a buyer. The CEO says hiring and retention, supply chain challenges, and international competition all contributed to this decision. A bizarre attempt by a suspect this week in Vancouver. He jumped into the Columbia River to get away from the cops. Officers responded to calls Wednesday evening from a person who reported two men parked out front of their house on Southeast Riverside Drive. They were going door to door asking for gas money. Well, when officers got there, one of the men jumped off a 20-foot embankment, ran across the railroad tracks, and jumped into the water. Officers called in a boat, and after an hour were able to arrest him. He's now in jail for criminal impersonation. And a traffic alert if you use the Interstate Bridge. ODOT is shutting down all lanes going north from 11 p.m. Saturday night to 7 a.m. Sunday morning for patching and maintenance work. The northbound ramp from Jansen Beach will also be closed. And those are a few of your headlines.
Well, there have already been some big changes and certainly a lot of buzz about the transformation of Vancouver's waterfront. Now there are plans to keep that momentum going by redeveloping some city land right next door.
Yes, Tim Gordon shows us it's a bit of a sweet spot between downtown and the waterfront.
The Waterfront Gateway development will happen on about 6 acres of city-owned land right between Vancouver's waterfront and Esther Short Park, where the city's historic downtown begins.
So Waterfront Gateway sits right in the middle. It's a donut hole, and it's going to be a great mixed-use project to tie those two districts together.
A lot of planning has already gone on based on public input. The latest renderings show office and retail space and housing, including an affordable housing building. But there will also be 2.5 acres of open space. This will be a plaza and pedestrian-oriented development with a lot of room to walk around and enjoy the sights, including the lights. One section is already dubbed the Lantern District.
We're sort of energizing the site through this kind of creative and interesting lighting program that will really help make this a destination and a signature attraction for the citizens of Vancouver.
We checked it out where the city and developer had set up a display in East Vancouver. They picked a popular farmers market to show off the project and get more input from people like Sherry Nash.
It is. I really didn't have an idea that they were moving forward in this way, but I think it's a great thing.
Nash appreciated learning about the plan to build a place that she feels supports the values of people coming together.
Community, exactly. Yeah, and families being allowed a place to interact together, make memories, enjoy each other.
Those things are already happening on Vancouver's increasingly vibrant waterfront, and there is more to come there. Project planners for the Waterfront Gateway District see even more variety with what they have planned as they bring this area together for everyone in the city.
We're in East Vancouver because, downtown is on the west side, but we want people in East Vancouver to come downtown and experience this. This is going to be a destination into itself.
Tim Gordon, KGW News.
Look at you guys over there across the Columbia. Yeah, he's nodding in agreement. He likes it.
Let me just say this about my beloved Vancouver and Clark County. We are happening.
Oh,
That's
boy.
it.
And modest.
So hip.
All right, let's get you going with the weather forecast. Another dry day, meaning no storm chance out east or anywhere in our region. Thunderstorms, there's some big ones way out here in South Dakota outside of Rapid City, it looks like, but nothing for us. We are dealing with our cool down, and that cooler marine air is arriving as I speak. So our futurecast models, we have cloudy skies being reported up and down the coast, and we're starting to see already more and more of those low clouds slowly seep into the valleys. So here's futurecast by mid-morning, 9 o'clock, showing for the most part we are cloudy, and then the clouds will break up during the day for kind of partly cloudy conditions in most areas. This could be true. Futurecast keeps cloudy skies pretty much all day up in Longview, Kelso, and also up in Astoria and down into Cannon Beach and Seaside. Here we are at 8:30 this evening. Still a lot of clouds around, including up in the Cascades. It is clear up over Timberline Lodge right now. Here we are at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Here's our rain chance. So if you look up the word pathetic in the dictionary, it looks like this. Our rain chance was looking better yesterday. Now it's back to looking pathetic, meaning pretty much a few spots will get a trace of rain and maybe a little bit more, but most of us have a good chance of staying dry. I mean, if you have plans tomorrow, obviously you want it to be dry, and I would say the odds of that are looking pretty good for any one specific location. Here we are tomorrow later in the day with partly cloudy skies. I think generally for the weekend we'll look for morning cloudiness both mornings and then partly cloudy afternoons. Here we are up at Timberline. It is clear as right now. The winds have been generally light, northwest 5 to 10. The actual reporting site at Timberline is down, but if you look at the elevation of 6,000 feet at other Mount Hood markers, looks like it's probably about 52 degrees up there currently. Talking hood to coast relay, of course. The shower chances tomorrow we just talked about. For the most part, looks like it's going to be dry. Mix of a lot of clouds at times in the morning especially. And then finishing up in the 60s, Seaside afternoon over along the north coast when the relay comes to an end. Current numbers 63 Kelso, 61 Salem, 59 Newport, 61 out in John Day. Some forecast numbers for you then. More sun in Salem, low 80s, could just be overcast, only 73 by the time you jump up to Longview. So that's the variance. There's your weekend, 81 today, 70s Saturday and Sunday, then back up to 93 by Tuesday. So Drew Carney, I don't know if you can hear me or not with this technology and all the noise, but I'm telling you it's 52 degrees up there, sir. Good morning, Drew. Oh, it feels beautiful. It's beautiful up here this morning, Rod Hill. We are live, as you know, Timberline Lodge. I'm with one of the teams running today in Hood to Coast. 1,050 teams all together. Let's turn around, gang, and show them who you are. Team Back Fat coming at you on a Friday morning. Yes, we're gonna have more with. We're gonna have more with Team Back Fat in 2 minutes here on Sunrise.